A warm welcome to all of you and a heartfelt namaste. It gives me immense pleasure to call upon Chandrasekhar Sharma ji once again. Sir Pranam. A thank you to all of you for watching our videos, writing in your comments and your suggestions. And as we move further, I would also like to inform you that Sir has many videos on his own YouTube channel. He regularly updates his blogs and his YouTube channels. So don't miss out on the data given there. So, Sir, let's, with proceeding further, what are we going to learn today from you, sir?
See, we have seen how somebody's ear is cut off because of place. We are talking about Swamsha till this
Right,
time.
right,
So Swamsha is placement of Chara Atma Karak in the Navamsha chart,
right.
in the
Its
Amsha
own,
chart. In
yes,
the Amsha chart.
right,
Karak Amsha generally means taking that Navamsha, putting the same Rashi, looking for the same Rashi in the natal chart, and that
right,
Rashi is to be considered as the Karak Amsha.
right, sir.
Isn't it? So it's very easy to understand. So now we will go a bit further.
Right, sir.
It talks about, I mean, now these few sutras talk about the health of the person, whether he will be a renunciate, what work he might do, what profession. We have also seen a part of the profession from the Swamsha in earlier sutras. Now
Right,
we will look at something else. And as usual in Jaimini Sutras, interpretation is always open to question.
right, sir.
So, as I said, we saw from Tatra Keto Papa Drushte Karna Chedak Karna Rogova as a sutra हमने पढ़ा है ना? We
Yes, sir.
look at that. So that thread is continuing. So
Right.
Tatra, many think that Tatra is Tata means that, which means Swamsha. But I agree with other learners who say Tatra has to be converted into Katapayadi, which means the second from the Swamsha. So, and it makes sense to look at both the Swamsha as well as the second from Swamsha. This is how I would go about it.
Right, sir.
Because I am also not as knowledgeable as, say, Jaimini, and sutras are difficult to understand. So let us be, they say that it is without any problem and it's absolutely clarity, etc., etc. But that is perhaps for the sages who understood it in that perspective. We will have still to go with the normal things. So we saw that if Buddha and Shani, the two hermaphrodites aspect, then what happens is generally the person is nirvirya, they call it. So nirvirya is divide of semen, virya is semen or sperm, whatever you want to call it, and that has perhaps to do because then both of them aspecting, there will be something more also there. If I mean, you go by my understanding of the things, I would think that they will have to be in the 8th house aspect the 2nd house. And in that case, because we are talking about Gemini, then those Rashis will have to be dual Rashis. Then only there will be a Rashi aspect. In Navamsha, I generally consider Rashi aspect only.
Okay.
People do think that, planetary aspect should be considered. But if we go to the great sage Parashara, he talks about 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 120 degrees as the aspectual strength of a planet.
Okay.
So here, as you know, the planets may be very distant in degrees and could still occupy the same number. So my logic says that in D charts, perhaps it would be more logical to look at the Rashi aspects. But of course, this is all open to interpretation. I am no great sage. So now we see what happens to the person. Shukra drushte pauna puniko dasi putro va. Va is or. So pauna or punika means again. Puna. Puna means again. So pauna means, so which means born of a woman who is perhaps a widow and married again, which was not that common in ancient times.
Right.
Or son of a maid servant.
Okay.
And in those days, the dasis did never know who were the father of the child that they are getting.
Okay.
So we have to understand that this is a bit controversial area, if we can call it that. There could be a different meaning also. That Puna would also be second child, because Punam is another.
Second, yes.
So why should we always consider that it has to be born to a widow who has remarried? It can be he himself might be the second child.
Right.
So like we are all learning together, so I would enjoin upon the listeners to apply it to the real life charts and then form their own opinion, and also tell others, so that everybody is well enlightened. Next comes Shani Drushti. Now here we have to understand. Shani Drushte Tapasvi Preshova. He says if Saturn aspects, whom that Ketu? Because that Tatra Ketu, it is still, I mean, that thread is continuing, it is not yet broken. When it breaks, or I think it breaks, I'll tell you. So Shani Drushte Tapasvi Preshova. Now, if you look at the next aphorism or sutra rather, it says Shani Matra Drushte Sannyasa Bhasaha. Now, where is the difference between the two?
Right.
If Saturn aspects, he will be a renunciate,
Right.
or he will be a servant.
Right.
Again, he says if only Sun Saturn aspects, then he would appear to be a renunciate, but would not be. So what we can say, charlatan or whatever you want to say in English. So I think the difference is the first aphorism, the 36th one, is talking about Sari Drushte Tapasvi Preshova if it is aspecting Ketu.
Okay.
In the second or in the Swamsha, second from Swamsha or Swamsha. And when it says Shani Matra Drushte Sannyasa Abhasa, Ketu would not be there.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
he says
because the word matra is there.
Only Shani aspects, that means there is nothing to aspect. It is aspecting the Swamsha. This is my understanding.
Right.
So I should be pretty clear about it.
Right.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. And see, somebody creating such a great text, most of whose precepts do really come true when we apply to the charts, would not commit such a blunder. So my view is, because Ketu is supposed to give, is a giver up of something. Second from Swamsha, if we look at it from the even Lagna, you can see this the same thing. Then the second is the wealth and Kutumba, the family, and somebody giving up all those things, and having somebody like Saturn who doesn't bother the way he is dressed or whatever, not attached to anything at all. Then he's like he's being some sort of a renunciation, or because he doesn't have anything, being a servant to somebody is likely. This makes astrological sense, at least to me.
Right, sir.
This Saturn is aspected. This second house. Then Saturn has also a tendency of sometimes being economic with truth. Never forget that.
Yes.
Especially if it joins with moon or aspects moon, that tendency would always be there. And then Saturn also does not reveal what is in his mind, and which might be connected with his appearing to be an ascetic but not being an ascetic. What we nowadays call the so-called gurus who are not gurus. So I think I am encroaching upon an area where I should not, but I cannot stop myself. At this age, I think I am permitted to do that. So, having understood it, now we come to Tatra Ravi Shukra Drushte Raja Presha. So, what I think is, since Shani Matra Drushte comes before this, whereas that thread of Ketu is now offset. It is gone. So we are starting in a new thread, where second or Swamsha aspected by Sun and Venus will make that person a government servant, we can call it. See, an ordinary servant and a government servant or servant of a king are, socially their status is very different. And Venus represents, wealth and luxuries and everything. And Ravi, that is Sun, represents the king. And so this also does make sense. And second house is house of accumulated wealth. You put all this together, and yes, there is a very certain astrological logic here. Though Gemini talks only about Swamsha, I think this can as well be applied to the natal chart. because as we go ahead, then we see the sage advising to look at all those all charts and apply all those things. So now we go to the next stage. Here, new thread begins.
Okay.
What happens is we are now he says Budhe Rishve, Buddha Drushte va Mandavata. Rishva in Ketapayadi means 10th.
Right.
So when Mercury aspects the 10th house, then what would happen? He would do whatever is indicated by aspect of Saturn on the 10th earlier. In the earlier shlokas, you will see Prasiddha Karma Jiva Shanav is one of the sutras.
Right,
Actually,
sir.
not in this one, the earlier lectures that we gave, there is a sutra like that. So he is referring to that. We saw that planets in Swamsha, what do they do?
Right. Yes. Yes.
There you will see Prasiddha Karma Jiva Shanav.
Right.
So
Sir.
here he says if Mercury also aspects, then Mandavata. The same results as Saturn gives when he aspects the Rishva, that is the 10th house.
Right.
Buddha Drushta, 2nd.
Right.
And this also makes sense because if 10th house is aspected by Mercury, then even by traditional astrology, that bhava is strengthened. The house, the bhava gets strength. This is basic principle of astrology. So this also does fit in the regular thing. You can even apply that in
our D1 charts.
Natal chart or Karkamsha chart or whatever D1, D2 chart, whatever you want to do. But
Rasi,
Prikhyat chart he also talks about. Navansha charts he talks. And the sage Maharshi talks about, Gemini talks also about the Lagna chart.
Right.
As we go ahead, somewhere it will come. Next comes is Shubha Drushte Stheya. On the 10th house, if there is aspect, because this Rishve, the thread is continuing.
Right.
It is not aspect of, it could be taken that if, a benefic also aspects Mercury, who is aspecting the 10th bhava, or it could be any other benefic aspecting the 10th bhava, Stheya. This is generally translated as somebody who is steady in his work. I beg to differ. If I remember right, and at my age I have the liberty of forgetting, but I don't think I am that forgetful. Stheya also means somebody who solves disputes.
Okay.
A person who gives solution to disputes.
So kind of a judge. Judge kind of a person.
It could be somebody who is in the judiciary or whatever, because you see, benefic planets are very few.
Right.
You know that basically Jupiter and Venus would be there.
Yes.
They are the ones, and Mercury and Moon are part-time benefics. Sometimes they are benefics, sometimes not. So this is the. You want to ask something?
No, sir. I just wanted to say that like kind of a judge or a lawyer or something.
Yeah, somebody, anybody.
Yes.
Even an astrologer who perhaps helps in a family not breaking up.
Okay.
I mean, anybody.
Okay.
The elder in the family who keeps the family together.
Okay.
Because in large families there would be disputes.
Okay.
Isn't it? So it could be his profession. It could be what he does and for which he is respected. Because 10th house, besides profession, also is house of getting respect, recognition.
This is a very beautiful thing.
Manasthana, people respect you. So both the things are possible. Jupiter aspecting would be anyway, he would be a consultant sort of thing, somebody who renders advice. And Venus being a Shubha Graha, the benefic planets, would give some of its abilities there, perhaps. So this is how it works out. And because Mercury, he has already considered, so only Moon is left. The Moon has a different role. Many a times in such combinations, if Moon is also aspecting, that will certainly happen. Chandra Drushte Nishchayana is one of the sutras we have looked at earlier. So we should not forget those sutras. Ultimately, they have to be also applied here. There is a aphorism, I don't remember it now, but it says, when in sutras, when something is not said or not understood, look backwards. Adrushta Sutra, they say. And look
Okay.
at the Adrushta Sutra and understand this sutra.
Okay.
I think that is said somewhere in either Sankhya Yoga of Kapila or somewhere, I don't remember.
Okay, sir.
But
Sir, one
yes,
question
because
here.
that is one of the, I mean, how to interpret sutra is a complex thing, and I am no expert in that. But this is said. So I think that is why moon has been left out.
Okay, sir.
Moon will make it happen anyway, but these planets have to be there because moon gives a variable nature. So
Right.
moon would not give this. They know. But if moon also aspect, that means your mind is also focused on that,
Yes.
besides your intellect.
Yes.
So that will certainly happen. Must be the logic behind it.
Right. That is what I wanted to ask you, that if moon is there, wherever moon is sitting and aspecting, that is the place where you are kind of very much,
Radiation.
yes, or very
Yes.
much focused on. No matter, even if you're varying, you are focused on those areas of
Yeah,
life.
but it would not be fixed. Whereas here, it has to be fixed.
Okay.
I mean, with these, I mean, combination of Buddha aspecting and Mercury. I'm sorry. I always use both the words. Sometimes Sanskrit, sometimes Hindi, and you have to excuse me for that. But and Moon is also aspecting. Then it becomes even more so.
Hmm.
It becomes more so because now your intellect and your mind are operating in tandem with each other or
Right.
in consonant with each other. So the effect would be perhaps even better.
Right.
This must be the idea behind it. And next comes Ravo Guru Matra Drushte Gopalaha. If only, then this again only comes because Shubha
Right.
Drushte is gone. So Ravi and Guru. Why? Because Shubha is benefic,
Right.
but Sun is not considered a benefic.
Benefic.
Some people consider him malefic. I consider him cruel.
Hmm.
And so still he is not a benefic. So if only Sun and Jupiter together are aspecting
Hmm.
the 10th house from the Swamsha,
Hmm.
then he will rear cattle.
Hmm.
This is the Gopala means one who rears cattle. Go is cow
Yes.
primarily, and Pala means somebody who rears them or takes care of them.
Yes.
It also sometimes makes sense because Jupiter rules over what is called as fat, vasa,
Right.
and fat is obtained from a cow.
Right.
And you have to have enough, resources to get a good cow.
Yes.
So you have to be king. I mean, this might be the reason. This is how I'm.
No.
And Ravi is also, that is sun, is also called Bheshaja,
Okay.
one who can treat patients.
Okay.
And anybody who has reared cattle, I know, they have so many health issues coming. So if you are a good cattle rearer, good Gopal, you also must know how to treat your own cattle. Because sometimes you might not get a veterinarian, and if you get, he may not understand what is happening with it. That might be one of the reasons why Sun and Jupiter aspecting is making one a rearer of cattle instead of Moon, who rules over milk.
Right.
Because there has to be my approach to astrology has been, which is a weird approach, I know, but that is how I am and can't change at this age, that we must understand the
Logic.
psychological or astrological logic behind it.
Right.
Otherwise, just reading the aphorisms and applying them would never help us come
Right.
to the right conclusion.
So, one question here is that this combination can make one a veterinary surgeon also. Like you were I just got it from your.
No, in that case, Jupiter will not be there. Perhaps.
So, but Jupiter is where there?
Perhaps.
Jupiter
He
is.
says Gopal. Gopal means rearing.
Okay.
Gopal was the one of the names of
Lord
Lord
Krishna.
Vishnu, Lord Krishna rather, and he was a cattle rearer.
Right, sir.
He used to take those cattle to Yamuna,
Yes.
graze them, rear them, and of course look after them. So perhaps, I mean, as you said, it could very well maybe in that case Mars would also be involved.
Okay, sir.
Because cattle do need, to be operated upon many a times to relieve them of their problems, or
Right.
or Rahu, because sometimes communicable diseases also attack the cattle.
Right,
But
sir.
this is my flight of imagination. I don't know. what Jaimini says is this. Now this thread is gone, and
New
now
one.
comes Dare Chandra Shukra Dhruv Yogobhyam Prasad. Dara converted into, Katapayadi becomes 4.
4. So now I understand all the 4 benefics. If they aspect, then it
So the
becomes
earlier this thing is cut off. That thread is gone now.
right.
10th house thread is gone.
Hmm.
See, so how we should look at this, because otherwise it becomes really complex.
Right, sir.
And the beauty of interpretation of sutras is understanding where the sutra, that is the thread, ends and where a new one starts. But sometimes the new one will take from the earlier thread and not talk about it.
Right.
So that is where in Sankhya Yoga they said Adrushta sutra should also be understood to interpret the further sutras when you don't understand why it seems to be illogical, because it is not illogical.
Right,
So
sir.
here it says Chandra Shukra Dhruv Yoga, either they aspect or they occupy. Force from the south, Swaksha. He will have a palatial house. Prasada is palatial house.
Right.
We understand, you see, Venus is somebody who loves luxury.
Right.
Moon has to do with the water, which is anyway needed, because Venus also likes flowers, that is his area. And Moon also rules over different type of medicines. So, and he also represents mother who takes care of something. So perhaps that is how it is coming through. In regular astrology, we consider if Venus is aspecting, he will have a very good house with great garden and everything. Here, Moon is also added. Perhaps, as I was saying, because Moon is there, this result of Venus giving a very good palatial house is made fixed. The result is certain. That is what we were talking about a few minutes earlier about Chandra Drushte Nishchayana.
Right.
This is what comes here. So now we are in the houses.
Right.
Then Ucha Grahe Api, if they are not there and some exalted planet is aspecting the 4th house, still it will be
a good.
So basically they talk about Chandra Shukra, but in other planets, these need not be in exaltation, Moon and Venus.
Right.
Other planets need to be in exaltation to give the palatial house.
Right.
This is about houses. Then Rahu Shani Bhyam Shila Gruham. Shila means stone.
Right.
So houses made of stones. I would look at it as in a way they are very sturdy. May not be beautiful, may not be very well insulated, because in stones it becomes many a times difficult to create.
Insulate.
They would be dark, and that is what is Rahu and Shani all about.
Right.
So,
so that is
now we are into houses,
right?
Which interests people, because everybody will ask, "Shall I get a good house?"
Yes. So, so anybody who has Moon and Venus, just for our again, in the 4th house or aspecting their 4th house in the Swamsh, from Swamsh, then it is very clear that they will have a beautiful house, palatial house, or any planet for that matter, which is posited in the 4th house, which is in exaltation. That will give
exaltation.
When Rahu and Shani will give you a sturdy house, but not a very bright
or appear to be luxurious. It would be sturdy. It would last long,
but not a very beautiful.
Shani is called Ayush Karaka. He gives things for a long time. Likes a bit of darkness around him, so may not be very well ventilated. And I think that is how they are coming to, because not everybody in earlier days, yes, there were buildings made out of stone. Nowadays they are less, but maybe outer fascia might have some cladding of stone.
Right.
If suppose Venus also enters into that combination, it might be granite, which is a bit expensive.
Right.
Isn't it? So we again apply our logic here about what they are saying and then try to find out what happens.
Deshkal Patra. Desh Kal Patra. We are
Desha
also
Kala Patra, yes, that Kala is very important. Ultimately, astrology is study of Kala,
yes.
study of time. It is based on time.
Hmm.
So relativity's principle, as we call it, isn't it? So this is the fourth dimension
Right,
about
sir.
which the great Einstein has already talked. That
Right.
everything is relative to something and more relative to the time. We need to
Right.
understand.
Sir. So.
Next we come Kujaketu Bhyam Maistikam. That means made out of bricks.
Hmm.
Made out of bricks. Actually made out of earth, but it means bricks, and that has to do with both the planets being hot. So you have to
Hmm.
bake something, and Kuja, that is Mars, is called as the son of Earth,
Earth. Yes.
son of Bhumi. So that why it is made out of earthen bricks should be pretty. I mean that logic is very clear, and
Right,
you
sir.
can apply it anywhere. Even in the natal chart, we will find something like that.
Right.
Next comes Guruna Daravam. Now, this Daravam word comes from Daru, which does not mean liquor. It means timber.
Timber. Huh.
In colloquial language, our colloquial language, people think Daru means liquor. No, no. This Daru, Deva Daru. We have got those pine trees. They are called the
Yes,
Deva
sir.
Daru,
Devdar.
or
Yes.
Daru one of I think Lord Shiva. So
Huh.
Daru one is trees.
Right.
Trees with mm, good grains, tough tree.
Right, sir.
So they say that if it is Guru who is aspecting, then that house will be built out of timber.
Right,
Now,
sir.
will this be everywhere? No, we have to understand. It should be, if it is very cold place, then it might be timber, house
Hmm.
of timber itself, because timber acts as insulator. In other places, lot of wood might be used in that house,
Hmm.
and good quality wood would be used in that house, is what is done by Guru. I would think that it will be a large house, because Guru himself is large.
Hmm.
So and so a lot of mm, teak wood or expensive wood might be used there.
That's a beautiful one, sir. Because Guru himself, like you said, that it's the better, the more sturdy kind of trees that is being used. That would be more
Yes,
that it can be
yes,
featured.
yes.
And
Yes,
sir, just because before we sign up with the last shloka, I
yes.
want to ask one question here, sir.
Uh-huh.
Rahu Shashinabhyam Shilagriham. Here, can it be those forts, the strong, sturdy forts, which were very huge, but they were
Yes,
very
yes, quite
dark
possible,
and
quite
damp?
possible. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Especially the king's special in force, no, there used to
Right.
be one we used to call in Marathi Bale Killa, the
Or the fort, or the
king's
fort.
residence. The idea is Rahu is somebody who works stealthily,
Yes,
isn't
sir.
it? Huh. So perhaps they used to build them of rocks, so that they cannot be easily destroyed.
Right, sir.
Rather
And which
than
cannot also be assessed easily, cannot be assessed by others easily
yeah,
also.
not accessed by others easily, and they would be sturdy even under attack. They would not break down.
Right.
So that is quite possible. Absolutely, absolutely right. Absolutely. And the last is Tarna Ravina. Now this Tarna comes from Truna. Truna means grass.
Uh,
So thatched roof might be there.
right, sir.
Here, I think we will have to change it to something else. I would say ki perhaps in the modern time, of course, people do build houses with the thatched roofs, but it would perhaps more on the lines of using more of the plywood or pressed wood or processed wood.
Hmm.
It is there, because why should son, the king, live in a house of uh,
Uh,
of a
Hatch.
substance which is not very
Huh.
stable? Perhaps it could also be an indication that he would be living in a palace, but being a king, that kingship can any time go. So I don't know whether it is an indication of that, or whether king builds the house for this guy.
Okay.
So you occupy the government quarters
Okay.
or government accommodation.
Okay.
That I would say is more likely nowadays. In earlier days, the elder kings, like somebody of my age, I'm no king, but we used to go to, they called it
Sannyasa.
Vanaprasthashram.
Vanpas. Yes. Well,
And there, those huts which were built, though they were palatial huts, they were still built with grass, thatched sort of huts were there. And this might be corrected with that part of, because if I remember right, uh, sun is said to be 50 years of age.
Yes.
So perhaps this is an indication of the things as they were in times of Maharshi Jaimini.
Right.
Nowadays, even if we are 100 years old, we don't go to any forest, nothing, and we don't give anything to our children. I mean, the control we don't want to lose. This is fact of life, so we have to understand that. And so we come to the, I suppose, end of
Thank
this.
you so much, sir. Thank you so very much for this.